President Bola Tinubu's request for the amendment of the 2022 Appropriation Act to enable the sourcing of 500 billion naira to cushion subsidy removal effect has continued to generate reactions. Although the plan aims at improving the already dampened cost of living of Nigerians, there are doubts that the plan may not yield expected positive results on the country's economy and lives of the citizens. Correspondent Nabuchi Oke Nabuchi takes a look at the plans and its effect on the country.
Since the removal of oil subsidy and the assumption of office of the Tinubu administration, Nigerians have encountered hardship that has never befallen the country ever before. Former President Muhammadu Buhari had allocated 3.6 trillion naira to fund the fuel subsidy for the first half of the year 2023 during the presentation of the 2023 budget proposal before a joint session of the National Assembly. Buhari's budget proposal was tagged Budget of Fiscal Sustainability and Transition and was the last for his administration. Buhari, while presenting the proposed 20.51 trillion naira 2023 budget, told Nigerians that the subsidy regime must cease for the country's economy to blossom. To drive that plan, President Bola Tinubu, during his inaugural speech, entered the subsidy regime, plunging the country into hardship and soaring inflation.
It's all I asking for. And what I've had is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
Though criticized by many, the administration is, however, taking critical steps to reduce the sufferings of the masses as well as the cost of governance. The 500 billion naira request from the National Assembly is part of the moves, and the legislatures, bearing in mind people's sufferings, feel obliged to approve the request.
I write to request the approval of the House of Representatives for the amendment of the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act in accordance with the attached. The request has become necessary in order to, among other things, source for funds necessary to provide palliatives to mitigate the effect of the recent removal of fuel subsidy on Nigerians.
Request for approval of additional financing of the National Social Safety Net Program. Approved an additional loan facility to the tune of USD 800 million to be secured from the World Bank for the National Social Safety Net Program.
But is a requested fund the only remedy to the sufferings and high cost of living impacted by the subsidy removal? It is no longer news that since the removal of the subsidy on May 29, over 800 billion naira ought to have been saved by government, going by the 400 billion naira monthly subsidy savings, a fact corroborated by the president of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, HIPMAN, Chinendu Okonkwo, and the group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, at different fora of their meetings with stakeholders of the oil sector. Over 13 billion naira sure at hand, according to fact, but are the funds big enough to cushion subsidy removal effects? No matter how big the funds are, hardship and poverty may continue to bite even harder if the non-oil and other critical sectors of Nigeria's economy are not adequately harnessed.
One of the major measures to help is the minimum wage man is actually so low to the amount the civil servants are spending. Looking at the exploitation of transportation alone has taken the incomes of civil servants. And if you have to look at the population of civil servants is actually so high, the civil servant effect is also affecting those people in market because it's the civil servant that will go to market to get something.
I feel they should revamp their economy to see how the prices of these primary commodities, garri, food, rice, beans, they are accessible. You understand? You can't be spending so much on transportation and still spend so much on acquiring food commodities. And I even learned that a minimum wage that they said they will increase has not been implemented. So we still keep earning that little thing we are earning and now applying it in an economy that is now operating 5 times higher than it used to be. So you can.
We have really been disappointed over a period of time. We saw it even during the issue of the pandemic, and people were really complaining. The palliative stuff, and it was also gotten told by seeking loan. A lot of people did not really benefit from that palliative.
Whether the funds are sufficient or not, Nigerians want moves, plans and policies that will better the economy, reduce the hardship occasioned by the removal of the oil subsidy, and the stabilization of the fledgling democracy.